You know those video detection cameras that are mounted at your traffic signal. They're there to detect your vehicle and give you a green light. But what happens when Mother Nature decides to dump blizzard-type weather onto your local traffic signal? Can those cameras even still see you? That is a question I had from a fellow YouTuber who asked, how do the new camera sensors work during inclement weather like heavy rains and snow? Well, it's a perfectly timed question because over the past week and a half, we've had about 12 inches of snow and an inch of ice dumped on us. Coincidentally, during those times, my phone's been ringing off the hook with malfunctioning traffic light complaints. Now, in today's video, you're going to see firsthand 3 different scenarios that I have found where this snow and ice has caused havoc on our detection cameras. Case number 1, snow-covered cameras equal no detection. Well, that's partially true. Look at this intersection, the upper left-hand corner. This is the northbound traffic. At this point of the day, we have half of the field of view covered with snow. Now, those white detection zones are there that are set up per lane, and they're there to detect your vehicle and send a call to the controller. Now, watch this approaching truck here. He's going to pull up into the through lane, and as he pulls through, that rear zone detects him by changing blue. Now, as he keeps pulling up into the stop bar here, those zones have no longer detected him, and the call has dropped out. What's going to happen here is that vehicle will never get a green light. And that was part of the calls I was getting that day, was vehicles sitting at lights without getting a green light. Now, if we take this same camera and fast forward a few hours later, you're going to see that it's completely covered with snow now. Now, the saving grace here is these cameras have a backup plan. When they go to a low contrast or a complete whiteout, those same zones will change to a light blue, meaning they're going to send a constant call to the controller, guaranteeing you a green light. Case number 2, icicles in the field of view equal no detection. Well, that's partially true as well. Here's a couple different cameras that we had throughout the day. You can see the icicles hanging down into the field of view and across the zones. So several things can happen here. Now, one scenario that could happen is your overall picture of the camera is good. However, an icicle forms in the lane where your detection zones are at. What can potentially happen is those zones relearn that icicle image, blocking your vehicle, as you're going to see in this camera view. Quick question here. Which lanes have vehicles occupying them? Well, it's that second lane. Not only 1, but 2 vehicles were in that lane. Now we're going to cycle through here again. Same question. Which lanes have the vehicles in them here? Not that truck, the other lanes. Well, this time it's the first lane had a vehicle. That icicle has formed perfectly over the through lanes, blocking that field of view of the vehicles. Here is another camera view. This is nighttime, the 2 left turn lanes. Different question. What type of vehicles are occupying these lanes? Well, you can kind of see the right lanes. You've got 2 SUVs. However, in that third lane, who knew there was an entire semi occupying that lane? This is just an example of how your icicles can block the camera's field of view. So you saw how the icicles can form and block the camera's view of your vehicle being detected. However, in this next case, you're going to see another problem that icicles cause. Case number 3, icicles cause false vehicle detection in the controller. Now, this is primarily a nighttime problem. You can see there is a icicle that's formed in the dual left turn lanes there. Now, watch as oncoming traffic. Watch our headlights, refract onto the icicle, making the camera think there's vehicles in those lanes. There's even a vehicle in that far left point of the camera's view that are placing calls into those lanes. Keep watching this. Even the green indication of the traffic signal is placing calls into the controller. Now, in this scenario, you have the exact opposite effect. You have the intersection serving green lights to directions where there are no vehicles present, causing other directions to have to stop unnecessarily. All right, guys, there you go. There's 3 different cases where this wintry weather caused problems with my cameras. It kept me fairly busy during this time period trying to keep the signals running as efficient as possible. Hey, if you guys like this, give me a thumbs up and I'll do my best to keep bringing the videos to you. That's all I got. Thanks again. See you next week.